Damn it, Anna, that was so good. I don't even follow that. It's the deepest inside baseball. Is the perfect audience to do that for. God damn it. All right, well, this is called Swolewell. Thank you. We open on a campaign headquarters sign in the middle of San Francisco, which is very obviously a large former Denny's. The lights are dimly lit, and we see a handful of posters all over the walls and on the floor that say, Eric Swalwell for governor. I couldn't spell that word, by the way. I had to look it up when I was writing this. There was too many R's. There's too many R's in governor. Anyway, a few more posters saying, a campaign built on trust in a California you can count on. We cut to a wide shot of a few frazzled staffers drinking coffee and meandering purposeless. In the background, we hear the soft sounds of Life of a Showgirl unironically playing on a loop. That's a deep cut if you're a political junkie. But as the camera cuts in and out of various booths, the air is somber. We hear an unidentified 20-something male say to no one in particular, we should have one last hurrah before we fully shut this down after this many months of work. As he says that, we see Jeanette, 70s, white, very fashionable, Eric Swalwell's wayward secretary and sometimes personal assistant, perk her head up over the two-seater table she was using, shut up Scott, as a makeshift desk, and we hear her say, we have this place until tomorrow at 3 p.m. If you're gonna be degenerates, might as well ask the boss to come. The camera cuts to the 4 remaining 20-something white male staffers who look over at Jeanette, back at each other, then back at Jeanette, and collectively say, you think Swalls will come? Isn't his wife pretty mad at him and keeping him at home these days? To which Jeanette replies, son, she knew what he was up to, but now he has his own apartment. She really just likes their big house on the hill. Call him up, get some of the supplies, tell him we're going out with a bang. As if on television, the 4 20-something male staffers all jump in the air and try for a high five as their ties fly off their chests, expecting time to stop so they can Zach Morris their ways into a different reality. But that doesn't happen. They land, look at one another again, and pull out their cell phones. As the phones ring out, we cut to Eric Swalwell's small apartment. The lights aren't on. There are paper plates and pizza boxes everywhere all over the floor. We see books scattered throughout, including the 2004 bestseller, My Life by Bill Clinton. Devil's Bargain by Joshua Green. That's about Steve Bannon, no one knows that book. The Third Man by Peter Mandelson, he's in the Epstein Files. And The Audacity of Hope by Barack Obama, because, come on. Eric is up, pacing around all over the kitchen in his boxers, saying to himself and the toaster, we can turn this around, we can make a difference. And he begins shadowboxing indiscriminately to Till I Collapse by Eminem. This is so mean, I'm so mean. We see Eric look down at his Apple Watch and the name Staffer 2 shows up on his caller ID. He answers on his watch, hey my man, just over here strategizing, we can come back. To which Staffer 2 says, time to hang it up, Swalls. We're having one last party tonight, you should roll through. Eric replies, oh man, I think we can come back. To which Staffer 2 replies, you can bring party favors. Eric pauses and says, see you at 10. We jump cut to later that night, 9:45, interior of the former Denny's. The large campaign headquarters has become the scariest rat house you've ever seen. Liquor bottles, solo cups, and 5 beer kegs all sit in random places in the front of the house of Denny's. There is melting ice all over the overly colorful carpets, that is hard to say, and on the booth seats. There are about 50 20-something dudes, and all of 3 women are there, alongside Jeanette, who at this stage is 6 cocktails deep. Loads of dudes all look around, clearly waiting on more girls. Some 90s country is playing in the background. Jeanette walks over to one of the male staffers and says, he's outside. Oh, wait, hell of a time to come in. Here we go. Join us. The male staffer jumps to his feet, runs to the glass doors, and almost begins to pant, waiting for the door to open up, where we cut to Eric Swalwell, who enters, dressed in a suit and tie, but in Vans shoes to show he's down to party. He clearly has not slept, but is keeping himself together by repeatedly saying, we had a good run, boys, we had a good run. Seeing how frazzled he is, a security guard walks to the front doors, locks them, and nods in the direction of the male staffers. All of a sudden, the lights fully go out. An inexplicable disco ball falls from the ceiling. All of the booths flip over and become makeshift daybeds. and Little John's "Turn Down for What" overpowers the Bluetooth speaker in the corner. Eric Swalwell takes off his suit jacket, his tie, and his pants and pulls out 5 bags of coke. He proceeds to put together multiple lines in front of himself, one after another, and grabs a straw from his suit coat. He invites exactly no one to join him. The only 3 girls at the party all look at one another and try to leave. The security guard blocks their exit and says, "No girls leave without Eric's permission," but proceeds to wink at them. They're confused and they stand by his side. All the male staffers and other hangers-on are trying to remain calm but are clearly confused. Eric proceeds to do all 13 lines of coke in quick succession and screams to no one in particular, "Down but not out, baby! Eric's gonna be president one day! Woo!" The 3 girls all cringe and look at each other, choking on their fear. Jeanette steps in and says, "Don't worry, ladies. Today's the day you see why I've been working for him for this long. I switched his coke for GHB. You go out the back door and I'll handle things here." Whatever. As soon as she says that, the girls quickly leave out the back entrance and Eric keels over and falls to the ground. With his ass wide open in the air, Jeanette grabs his dick, puts it between her hands, and gives him a dry hand job. She then stands up, salutes the one remaining American flag on the wall, and says, "I always knew I'd serve the people, I just didn't think it'd be like this." Jeanette then turns to the 20-something staffers and says, "You're gonna want to get a picture of this." And proceeds to, this is so mean, and proceeds to tell the passed out Eric Swalwell, "You act like a white Republican and we'll treat you like a white Republican." And rubs her bare ass all over his face while his dick slumps to the side of his pants. Jeanette then turns and says to no one in particular, "Tell them what you saw here today, boys, and dismantle the entire system." She lights a cigarette, high-fives the security guard. He unlocks the front door. She grabs her pants, slowly puts them back on, and says to no one in particular, "The secret's out now, asshole," and walks out into the cloak of the night as we cut to a fade to black and the faint sounds of "You're a Grand Old Flag" in the distance. Thanks, everybody.
He's a predator. I'm sorry. We had to get him.
Hey, Gaffney,